Why you were born into this family. The Sacred Soul Contract explained. Have you ever stopped in the middle of the night and asked yourself with a deep feeling in your chest, why was I born into this family? Why precisely these parents, this environment, this complex network of relationships that has marked every fiber of your being? Why this house where you grew up? These voices you heard during your childhood? These wounds you still carry? Or this love that formed you? Was it all simply a cosmic accident, a casualty of destiny? Or is there a hidden reason, sacred and deeply transformative, behind every detail of your birth? Dear seeker of the deepest truth, what you are about to discover in the next few minutes will not only forever change the way you see your family, but will completely revolutionize your understanding of who you really are and why you are here at this precise moment in cosmic history. Realized spiritual masters like Paramhansa Yogananda offer us a revelation that will shake the foundations of everything you thought you knew about your life. Long before you took your first breath in this world, long before your body was formed in the maternal womb, your immortal soul made an absolutely conscious and deliberate choice. It chose with divine precision the exact conditions, the exact people, the exact family into which you would be born. Not by chance, but by supreme spiritual necessity. Have you ever wondered why you feel that intense connection, sometimes loving, sometimes painful, with certain members of your family? Why are there patterns that repeat generation after generation in your lineage? Why do certain family wounds seem to touch the deepest fibers of your soul, as if they were echoes of something much older than this present life? The answer, beloved being of light, is not found in genetics, nor in conventional psychology, nor in the material explanations that the modern world offers us. The answer lies in a spiritual truth so profound and transformative that, once understood, will illuminate every dark aspect of your personal history. The soul does not seek comfort, it seeks evolution. This is the master key that will open all the doors of understanding about your family life. Every pain you have experienced within your family, every joy you have shared, every complex and sometimes incomprehensible relationship you have lived, carries within it the sacred seed of a lesson that your soul came specifically to learn in this incarnation. Imagine for a moment, and this is not fantasy, but spiritual reality proven by the most advanced mystics, that your parents, whether kind or difficult, understanding or distant, loving or wounded themselves, were part of a cosmic agreement infinitely vaster than your conscious mind can conceive. A sacred contract established between souls in the invisible realm, long before birth, long before time and space as we know them existed for you. This idea, although it may seem strange or even incredible at first, begins to reveal its profound truth when we observe with spiritual eyes the way our families mold us, challenge us, love us, wound us, and finally, propel us toward our highest spiritual growth. Our families are the sacred mirrors of our karma, the most precise reflectors of our spiritual past, and the most powerful catalyst for our growth and evolution toward the realization of our divine nature. Your soul may have chosen a challenging family not as cosmic punishment, but as the most direct and effective route toward spiritual awakening, toward learning genuine forgiveness, toward developing indestructible inner strength, or toward cultivating compassion that embraces even the most difficult to love. So the question is no longer simply, why me? That question that arises from suffering and incomprehension. The real question, the question that transforms and liberates is, what did I specifically come to learn from this family experience? What aspect of my soul needed to be awakened, healed, or developed through these relationships? Because once you realize that you are not here by accident, but by sacred design and divine purpose, your entire life, including every painful moment and every moment of joy, takes on a completely new and transformative meaning. Your personal story becomes not a burden you must bear, but a divine journey of growth, healing, and transformation that your own soul designed with infinite wisdom. The eternal nature of the soul. Before we can truly understand why we were born into a particular family, we must first remember and reconnect with the fundamental truth of what we really are in essence. According to the deep teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda and the millennial yogic wisdom he brought to the Western world, you are not this physical body you see in the mirror every morning. You are not your name, which is simply a temporary label. You are not your gender, which is only an experience of this specific incarnation. You are not your social, professional, or cultural identity, all of which are temporary roles you play in the great cosmic theater of existence. You are a soul, eternal, conscious, and inherently divine, temporarily inhabiting a human form for specific purposes of spiritual growth and evolution. The physical body is like a sacred garment that the soul wears for a determined time, only to remove it at the end of this life, and wear another garment in the next incarnation. But the soul itself, your true identity, has no beginning and no end. Yogananda used to say with great emphasis, "Man is a soul and has a body, not the other way around." This simple but profoundly powerful truth completely transforms the way we understand our existence and our family relationships. The soul travels through multiple lives, carrying with it like a sacred treasure the accumulated experiences, lessons learned and yet to be learned, desires both elevated and mundane, and karma, both positive and challenging from past incarnations. The soul is on a continuous and eternal journey, a journey of constant growth, gradual remembrance of its divine nature, and conscious return to its true home, which is infinite divine bliss, the state of perfect union with the Supreme Self. Therefore, your birth in this life was not your true existential beginning. It was simply the next chapter in a much longer, richer and more meaningful spiritual story that extends through eons of consciousness evolution. You, as an eternal soul, came to this life with very specific spiritual intentions: to resolve certain karmas that have been pending for lifetimes, to fulfill certain elevated desires that drive your evolution, to heal certain wounds that have traveled with you through time, and to evolve toward higher levels of consciousness and spiritual realization. Once we understand and deeply accept the eternal and immortal nature of the soul, we stop asking the superficial question, "Why am I here?" from a place of victim or confusion. Instead, we begin to ask the transformative question, "What has my soul come to experience, learn, heal, and transform in this specific life? What chapter of my eternal spiritual evolution am I writing now through these family experiences?" And that elevated question leads us directly toward the deepest understanding of our family, our growth environment, our most intimate relationships, and even our greatest challenges. You are not simply the son or daughter of your biological parents. You are an eternal child of the universe itself, walking a sacred path that your soul chose long ago with perfect wisdom. The divine law of karma, the invisible architect of your family destiny. To truly understand why you were born into your particular family, we must delve into the depths of the universal law of karma, a concept that Paramhansa Yogananda frequently described as the divine law of cause and effect that governs everything in the manifested universe. In simple but profound terms, karma means that every thought, every word spoken, and every action performed creates a specific energy that eventually returns to us with perfect mathematical precision. It is not divine punishment, nor is it arbitrary reward. Karma is absolutely neutral. It simply reflects the decisions we have made, the paths we have chosen, and the energies we have set in motion, even through multiple lives and eons of existence. Imagine your soul as an eternal spiritual traveler carrying with it an invisible suitcase full of karmic impressions, some luminous and beautiful fruits of acts of love and wisdom, others dense and challenging, consequences of decisions made from ignorance, fear, or separation. All these impressions were created by your own past actions throughout countless incarnations. They are like energetic seeds planted in the garden of your soul, each waiting for the appropriate conditions to germinate and flourish into learning experiences. When the time comes for the soul to take birth again, it must do so in an environment and circumstances that will allow it to balance, resolve, transcend, and transform those pending karmas in the most effective way possible. And what is the most direct, powerful, and immediate influence on our early life? The family. The family environment is the perfect laboratory where the soul can work with its deepest karmas. Your parents, your siblings, and all the dynamics of your home life are not accidental. They are karmically attracted toward you, and you toward them, by spiritual forces that operate with perfect precision beyond the understanding of the ordinary mind. If there was unresolved love, deep gratitude, unhealed conflicts, betrayals needing forgiveness, or even sublime connections from past lives, the soul frequently seeks to complete and resolve those relationships in a new body, in a new scenario with new opportunities for growth and healing. Sometimes the same people who hurt you deeply in a past life return in this life to offer you the sacred opportunity to practice genuine forgiveness, to develop compassion, to heal ancestral wounds, and to free yourself from karmic chains that have bound you for eons. And sometimes those you loved deeply in previous incarnations return again to support you, nourish you, and continue that beautiful exchange of love that transcends time and space. Yogananda taught that karma is the invisible but perfectly intelligent force that molds every detail of your life, including the specific circumstances of your birth, your parents' personality, your family's socio-economic environment, and even the particular challenges you would face during your development. Therefore, your family is not simply an accidental biological connection, but a sacred karmic mirror, reflecting both the lessons your soul needs to learn and the specific healing it came to experience in this incarnation. When we understand this transformative truth, we automatically stop blaming our parents, our circumstances, or destiny for our difficulties. Instead, we begin to learn to grow, to heal, and to evolve consciously. We see with crystal clarity that life is not happening against us as helpless victims, but is happening for us as perfect opportunities for soul growth. The divine choice. How the soul selects its family before birth. Once we understand that we are eternal souls governed by the wise law of karma, the next question naturally arises like a dawn in consciousness. How exactly do we take birth? Is it a random process controlled by blind forces? According to the deep teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda and millennial yogic wisdom, the answer is absolutely clear and profoundly transformative. The soul consciously chooses its environment, its family, and its circumstances before birth. Not with the limited conscious mind we have now, but with a superior intelligence infinitely wiser. The divine intuition of the soul itself, that spark of supreme consciousness that resides in the core of our being. Before entering the physical body, the disembodied soul examines with perfect vision many possible lives, multiple potential families, and an immense variety of circumstances that could serve its evolution. From this elevated perspective, it chooses that situation that best aligns with its specific karmic needs and planned spiritual evolution. Sometimes that wise choice may mean a loving, harmonious, and peaceful family where the soul can develop virtues like gratitude, devotion, service, and unconditional love without great external obstacles. Other times, it may mean a life full of challenges, difficulties, and struggles because the soul needs to develop qualities like inner strength, spiritual resistance, compassion toward suffering, or wisdom that only comes through direct experience of overcoming obstacles. In both cases, the choice is made with perfect divine purpose, not for the temporal comfort of the personality, but for the eternal growth and evolution of the soul toward its final destiny of God realization. The soul specifically chooses its parents for multiple profound reasons, because they carry not only the physical genetics necessary for the body the soul will need, but also the emotional, mental, and energetic patterns toward which the soul feels karmically attracted for its healing and growth work. It chooses its culture, its country, and its historical epoch because these external conditions create the perfect framework for the specific challenges and opportunities that the soul needs to experience for its planned development. It even chooses the exact moment of its birth, aligning itself with cosmic forces, astrological influences, and universal energetic currents that will influence its path in ways that go far beyond what materialistic science can explain. You may have chosen parents who reflect your past tendencies, so you could clearly see those patterns and work consciously on transforming them. Or you may have chosen parents who would awaken something in you that had been dormant for entire lifetimes. Your inner strength, your compassion, your wisdom, or your capacity to love unconditionally. Yogananda explained that the soul makes these crucial decisions while still residing in the astral world, that subtle realm of existence where clarity of vision is infinitely greater than what we experience here on Earth, where emotions, attachments, and identifications with the body cloud our perception. So, when you look at your current life and ask yourself, why here? Why this specific family? Remember that the deepest and wisest part of you already knows the answer perfectly. Your soul, guided by perfect divine law, selected this life not as a cosmic mistake or an accident of destiny, but as a sacred and necessary step toward complete spiritual awakening. Everything you experience, every joy and every pain, every blessing and every challenge, is part of the perfect divine design, chosen by yourself, for your own supreme good and evolution toward the realization of your divine nature. The cosmic contract, sacred agreements between souls. Now that we have understood how the soul consciously chooses its environment before birth, let us delve even deeper into one of the most beautiful and profound mysteries of existence. What mystics and spiritual masters call the cosmic contract or sacred agreements between souls. Paramhansa Yogananda alluded to this sacred truth when he spoke of the divine intelligence that guides each soul's journey through multiple incarnations toward final liberation. Before taking birth, your soul enters into silent and sacred agreements, not with paper and ink, but in the subtle and spiritual realms where communication transcends words and is based on pure energetic resonances and direct soul-to-soul understanding. These contracts are established with those souls who will play fundamental roles in your life, especially your parents, siblings, and other important members of your nuclear and extended family. It is an invisible but real pact that says in essence, I will come through you. You will help me grow and evolve. Together we will fulfill our soul's needs and advance on our journey toward God realization. I will be your son/daughter. You will be my mother/father. And through this sacred relationship we will both have perfect opportunities to heal, love, learn, and grow spiritually. Some contracts are full of pure love and mutual support. You may have been born from souls with whom you have traveled lovingly for many lives. Souls who are part of your eternal spiritual family, and who continue supporting each other incarnation after incarnation on the long path toward final liberation. Other contracts may bring apparent difficulty and challenges because your soul, in its infinite wisdom, needed to experience contrast, creative tension, transformative pain, or karmic correction that can only come through challenging relationships that force us to grow beyond our comfort zones. This does not mean that your parents are spiritually perfect, or that they will treat you exactly the way your personality would wish to be treated. They may have their own unhealed wounds, their own karmas to work through, their own very real human limitations. But it does mean that their presence in your life, and your presence in theirs, is not accidental or arbitrary. Every interaction, every moment of love and every moment of conflict, every word spoken and every silence maintained, is part of a larger design that serves the evolution of all souls involved. Even if you were adopted, abandoned, or raised in a broken or dysfunctional home, that too may have been part of the sacred contract, designed specifically to teach you virtues like inner strength, spiritual independence, the capacity to forgive the unforgivable, or the ability to find love and security within your own connection with the divine when the external world cannot provide them. These soul agreements frequently include specific lessons you chose to learn in this life. Patience that develops through frustrating situations, compassion that grows by witnessing others' suffering, discernment between truth and illusion that sharpens by navigating complex family dynamics, or healing capacities that emerge from having experienced deep wounds. They may also involve karmas from past lives that must now be completed and resolved. That's why when relationships in your family feel intensely emotional, deeply complicated, or charged with meaning that goes beyond immediate circumstances, it may be because they are tied to ancestral commitments at the soul level that extend through multiple incarnations. Yogananda taught that the soul is always and eternally seeking evolution toward divine perfection, and this cosmic contract, though invisible to physical eyes, is a divine tool perfectly designed to help you achieve that growth and realization. When you recognize and accept this profound truth, you begin to live your life with greater acceptance, deeper understanding, and a peace that transcends external circumstances. You see every family relationship, even the most challenging ones, as sacred opportunities to fulfill divine contracts and advance on your eternal journey home. The question of the wounded heart. Why did I choose a difficult family? One of the most heartfelt and genuine questions a spiritual seeker can ask, and one that arises from real pain, authentic wounds, experiences that have deeply marked the heart, is this: if my soul really chose my family, then why did I choose a family that caused me so much pain, so much confusion, so much suffering? This is not a question we should take lightly or answer with empty spiritual platitudes. It comes from lived experience, real wounds, broken hearts, childhoods filled with emotional silence, neglect, abuse, addictions, violence, or abandonment. It comes from brave souls who have endured what no child should have to endure. And yet, Paramhansa Yogananda reminds us with great compassion and profound wisdom: the soul does not always choose comfort, it chooses growth. The soul does not always choose what is easy, it chooses what will take it most quickly home, to the realization of its divine nature. In the eyes of the soul, which sees from an eternal perspective, even the most painful experiences can be sacred if they awaken something deeper, more authentic, more powerful within us. Sometimes the most difficult families are precisely those that forge the strongest, most compassionate, most awakened souls. This is not a justification of abuse or a minimization of real pain. It is a recognition of the mysterious alchemy by which the soul can transmute even the lead of suffering into the gold of spiritual wisdom. A father who withheld love may have taught you, ultimately, how to find inexhaustible love within your own connection with the divine. A home filled with conflict may have inspired your deepest longing for the inner peace that the world cannot give or take away. A childhood marked by emotional neglect may have been exactly what pushed your soul to rise, to seek, to awaken, to become a source of the light and love you did not receive. None of these realities makes suffering right or easy to bear, but it does offer its sacred meaning. And with meaning comes the genuine possibility of deep healing. Yogananda frequently said that every soul is born in the exact conditions it needs to evolve to its next level of consciousness. If your family has been particularly challenging, it may be because your soul, in its infinite wisdom, was ready to break ancestral karmic chains, to heal generations of inherited pain not just for you, but for the generations that come after you. In this sacred sense, your suffering becomes a cosmic service because it is not wasted in bitterness or victimization, but consciously transformed into spiritual strength, compassionate wisdom, light that can guide others who walk similar paths of healing. So if your family has been difficult, have courage and recognize your spiritual value. You are not broken. You are incredibly brave. You came here not simply to survive or resist passively, but to consciously transcend and transform. The very challenges you face may be the greatest gifts your soul gave itself, disguised as trials, wrapped in the forms of those closest to you, but containing the seeds of your most complete spiritual liberation, conscious transformation, from victim to conscious creator of your destiny. Once you understand and deeply accept that your birth, your family, and even your greatest struggles are part of a soul-level choice, a powerful and liberating transformation begins to happen in the depth of your being. You no longer see yourself as a helpless victim of life's circumstances, but as a conscious participant and active co-creator in the evolution of your own soul. This fundamental shift in perspective is where true and lasting healing begins to manifest. Paramhansa Yogananda taught that awakened consciousness is the first crucial step towards spiritual liberation. When you become conscious of the cosmic contract behind your birth, when you understand the sacred purpose behind your family experiences, you gain the genuine power to rewrite how you live within that contract. Your soul may have chosen this specific family to resolve ancient karmas, to grow in unconditional love, to heal deep ancestral wounds, or to develop specific spiritual virtues. But now, as a conscious and awakened human being, you have the power to choose how to respond to these opportunities for growth. You are no longer obligated to automatically repeat the patterns of pain, dysfunction, or limitation from the past. You can consciously break those cycles. You can transform dense karma into luminous wisdom, conflict into genuine compassion, wounds into spiritual strength, and separation into love that embraces even the most difficult. How do you begin this sacred transformation? First, gently reflect on the patterns in your family. What dynamics continue repeating generation after generation? What emotions arise automatically when you think about your parents, your childhood, or certain family members? These are direct clues from your soul pointing you toward the specific areas where your growth and healing are most needed. Second, practice authentic forgiveness. Not to excuse hurtful actions or pretend the pain wasn't real, but to free yourself from the burden of carrying resentments that only keep you tied to the past. Remember, forgiveness is not for them, it's for your own spiritual liberation. Third, cultivate sacred gratitude. Although your family may have been difficult or even traumatic, they played their role in your soul's awakening. In the quietude of your heart, bless them. Thank them for helping your soul grow, even if that help came disguised as challenges you would have preferred not to experience. Fourth, walk your path with conscious and loving intention. Consciously choose to become the light that perhaps your family couldn't give you. Be the healing presence in your own life. Become the compassionate ancestor for future generations by breaking dysfunctional cycles and planting seeds of love, wisdom, and awakened consciousness. Yogananda said, "Live quietly in the present moment and observe the beauty of all that you have before you. The future will take care of itself." When you live with this awakened consciousness, your life becomes a sacred act, not just of healing your own personal history, but of fulfilling your soul's highest purpose in this incarnation. The alchemy of forgiveness, transforming wounds into wisdom. One of the most profound and liberating transformations any incarnated soul can experience is the sacred alchemy of authentic forgiveness. This is not the superficial forgiveness that society often promotes, that idea of forget and move on that denies real pain. True spiritual forgiveness is a profound alchemical process by which we consciously transform the dense lead of resentment, justified anger, and unhealed pain into the pure gold of compassion, wisdom, and inner freedom. When you understand that your parents and family members are also evolving souls, carrying their own wounds from past lives, struggling with their own unresolved karmas, and doing the best they could from their level of consciousness at that time, something fundamental changes in your heart. This does not justify the harm they may have caused. It does not minimize your pain or make the wounds less real, but it frees you from the prison of hatred, from resentment that keeps you energetically connected to the past in ways that prevent your present growth. Authentic forgiveness is actually an act of supreme spiritual power. It is saying, I recognize that what happened was painful. I recognize that my inner child was wounded, but I choose not to allow that pain from the past to dictate my present or limit my future. I choose to free myself so I can grow toward who I really came to be. Paramhansa Yogananda taught that forgiveness is the fastest form of karmic liberation. When you genuinely forgive, you cut the energetic cords that keep you tied to painful patterns from the past and release enormous amounts of spiritual energy that can be redirected toward your growth and realization. Sacred practice of family forgiveness. 1. Honor your pain. Recognize without minimizing the real wounds you experienced. Your pain matters and deserves to be acknowledged. 2. See the bigger picture. Remember that everyone is doing their best from their level of consciousness. Your parents were also wounded children once. 3. Release for your own peace. Forgiveness is not for them. It's your gift to yourself. It's choosing freedom over the prison of resentment. 4. Bless their souls. In meditation, visualize golden light surrounding your family. Bless their souls on their own journey of evolution. 5. Thank the lessons. Thank the virtues you developed precisely because of your challenges, your strength, your compassion, your wisdom. Breaking generational chains. Your mission as an ancestral healer. One of the most powerful realizations that can emerge from understanding your soul contract is that you came not only for your own evolution, but to be an ancestral healer, someone who consciously breaks dysfunctional patterns that have been operating in your lineage for generations. Many families carry energetic patterns that have been transmitted from parents to children for decades or centuries. Patterns of trauma, addiction, violence, emotional poverty, fear of love, or spiritual disconnection. These patterns can feel like family curses, but in reality they are sacred opportunities for collective healing. Your soul may have chosen to be born into your specific family precisely to be the one who finally says, "This stops with me. This chain of pain breaks now. I am the one who transforms this family karma into blessing." This is a sacred mission of enormous proportions. You are not only healing yourself, but you are healing backward in time, liberating the souls of your ancestors who may have been trapped in these patterns, and forward into the future, ensuring that the generations that come after you inherit blessings instead of burdens. Signs that you are an ancestral healer. You feel different from the rest of your family, as if you came from another planet. You question family patterns that others accept without questioning. You feel a deep responsibility to change things for the better. You experience pain for family suffering as if it were your own. You have natural gifts of healing, intuition, or spiritual wisdom. You feel an inner calling to study spirituality, personal growth, or healing. Your work as an ancestral healer. 1. Conscious personal healing. Work diligently on healing your own wounds and traumas. Your personal healing is ancestral healing. 2. Consistent spiritual practice. Maintain a regular practice of meditation, prayer, and connection with the divine to keep your vibration elevated. 3. Compassion without codependency. Love your family without rescuing or enabling them. Hold space for their growth without forcing it. 4. Model new possibilities. Live in a way that demonstrates it's possible to break old patterns and create a life of peace, love, and fulfillment. 5. Liberation rituals. Perform conscious ceremonies to release dense ancestral energies and call blessings for your lineage. Living your purpose. From understanding to sacred action. Understanding your soul contract and the purpose behind your family is only the beginning. True transformation comes when you translate this understanding into conscious and loving action in your daily life. Your purpose is not simply to intellectually understand why you were born into your family, but to live that understanding in ways that honor the sacred gift of this incarnation. Practical ways to honor your soul contract. 1. Cultivate virtues consciously. If you came to learn patience, seek opportunities to practice it. If you came to develop compassion, find ways to serve it. Every day is an opportunity to fulfill your spiritual contract. 2. Create sacred family rituals. Even if your family isn't spiritual, you can create sacred moments. Silently blessing food, sending love during difficult conversations, or meditating for family peace. 3. Practice conscious communication. Speak from your highest truth. Instead of automatically reacting from old wounds, respond from the wisdom you've gained through your spiritual growth. 4. Be a bridge of understanding. Use your spiritual understanding to create more family harmony. You can be the one who translates between generations, who brings peace to ancient conflicts, who reminds everyone of their true divine nature. 5. Document your healing. Keep a journal of your healing and growth process. Your transformation story can inspire others who are navigating similar family challenges. The sacred gift. Transforming your story into service. One of the most beautiful realizations that emerges from understanding your soul contract is that your personal story, including all its challenges, becomes your unique capacity to serve others. The wounds you have healed become sources of wisdom. The patterns you have broken give you the ability to help others do the same. The love you learn to find within yourself becomes a light you can share with those who are still searching in the darkness. Paramhansa Yogananda said, "The purpose of life is to be happy, and the purpose of being happy is to help others find their own happiness." When you transform your pain into wisdom and your wisdom into service, you fulfill one of the highest aspects of your soul contract. Ways to transform your story into service. 1. Share your testimony. Your healing story may be exactly what another soul needs to hear to know that transformation is possible. You don't need to be perfect to inspire. You just need to be authentic about your journey. 2. Develop professional compassion. Many ancestral healers feel called to helping careers. Therapy, social work, spiritual teaching, holistic medicine, or community work. Your personal experience becomes your professional authority. 3. Create healing art. Express your journey through art, writing, music, or any creative form. Art that emerges from authentic experiences of transformation has a special power to touch and heal hearts. 4. Form healing communities. Create or join groups where people can share their family stories and support each other in their healing processes. Healing in community is more powerful than healing in isolation. 5. Pray for the families of the world. Use your understanding to consciously pray for all families navigating challenges similar to those you have faced. Your prayer, informed by experience, has special power. The sacred circle. Honoring all participants. As you mature in your spiritual understanding, you begin to see that everyone in your family, even the most difficult ones, are sacred souls performing perfect roles in the cosmic drama of evolution. Your authoritarian father may have come to teach you about authentic personal power versus power over others. Your emotionally distant mother may have come to help you develop the capacity to nurture from within. Your competitive brother may have come to activate your own excellence in ways that would otherwise remain dormant. Even those family members who caused the greatest pain may have been brave souls who agreed to play villain roles to activate your fastest growth. In the higher spiritual realms, you may even thank them for their service to your evolution. This perspective is not to minimize real pain or justify harmful behaviors. It is to help you see the sacred perfection of the cosmic design that allowed your soul exactly the experiences it needed for its maximum growth. When you can honor all participants in your family drama, including the younger, wounded versions of yourself, you have achieved a profound spiritual mastery that transforms not only your own experience, but the energy of your entire lineage. Living from the soul. The final integration. The ultimate goal of understanding your soul contract is not simply to have intellectual explanations for your family life, but to live from the soul's perspective in every present moment. This means seeing each family member as a divine soul on their own unique journey of evolution, regardless of their current behavior. Responding to family situations from your spiritual center, instead of reacting from old wounds or automatic patterns. Maintaining compassion for both yourself and others during inevitable moments of friction or misunderstanding. Seeking opportunities for growth and service in every family interaction, no matter how mundane or challenging. Trusting in the perfection of divine design even when circumstances feel chaotic or painful. Remembering your eternal identity as a divine soul temporarily incarnated for sacred purposes. When you consistently live from this elevated perspective, your family cannot help but be positively influenced by your presence. You become an agent of divine transformation, radiating peace, love, and wisdom that gradually elevates the consciousness of all around you. Your sacred journey continues. Dear soul, if you have come this far in this profound journey of understanding, it means you are truly someone who is seeking more than superficial answers. You are seeking transformative truth that liberates and illuminates. And that is the unmistakable sign of a soul that is ready to fully awaken to its divine nature and sacred purpose. Today we have explored a truth that is both mystical and deeply personal. That your birth into your specific family was not a random event, but a conscious and divine choice made by your soul for its own supreme spiritual evolution. Whether your family has been a source of unconditional love or profound challenges, celestial harmony or seemingly endless conflicts, remember this transformative truth. Nothing in your life has been without sacred purpose. Everything, yes, absolutely everything, has been part of the perfect divine plan that your soul designed before entering this world with the infinite wisdom of one who sees from eternal perspective. So take a deep and sacred breath, and allow yourself to fully honor your unique journey. You have walked through the fire of intense experiences, learned from pure love and carried karmas older than this present life. But now, with awakened consciousness in your heart, you have the divine power to transform everything into light, into freedom, into wisdom that serves both your own realization and the collective awakening of humanity. As Paramhansa Yogananda frequently taught, the season of failure is the best time to sow the seeds of spiritual success. And this moment, here and now, can be the seed of a completely new life if you choose to live consciously from the soul's perspective. If this video has resonated deeply in your heart, I wholeheartedly invite you to share your reflection in the comments. Tell me, did this message help you see your family in a completely new light? Was there something in today's teachings that brought you a sense of peace, clarity, or healing that you didn't have before? Your authentic words may be exactly the inspiration another soul needs to hear. Someone who is navigating similar family challenges and needs to know that transformation is possible, that pain can become wisdom, and that they are not alone on this sacred journey. And before we part, let me ask you, what topic would you like us to explore together in our next encounter? Do you want to delve deeper into karma and how to heal it consciously? Are you interested in exploring the mystery of soulmates and soul families? Would you like to understand more about past lives and how they influence your present? Or perhaps the soul's journey after death and preparation for future incarnations? Share your spiritual curiosity in the comments. Your sincere question may shape exactly the next step of our sacred journey of discovery together. If you found transformative value in this video, please bless it with a like, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving soul-nourishing wisdom each week, and share this message with someone who may need to hear exactly these words today. Your loving support helps this light reach more seekers like you, souls who are ready to awaken, heal, and live from their highest purpose. Until we meet again in this sacred space of learning and mutual growth, continue walking your path with the awakened consciousness of one who knows their true identity, with the courage of one who embraces their sacred mission, and with the devotion of one who knows they are always being guided by infinite divine love. May your understanding of today become living transformation. May your personal healing become ancestral healing. And may your awakening journey inspire others to also remember their own divine nature and sacred purpose. Jai Gurudev. May divine grace always bless and guide you on your path of return home. If this message touched your heart and helped you better understand the journey, remembering that it is part of your karma and your spiritual growth, support our work with a super thanks so we can continue creating transformative content with themes that inspire, help people, and bring more light to each life. Don't forget to like the video, Subscribe to the channel if it resonates with you and share it with your friends so our message reaches where it's needed.